Just a minute and a half early. SmackDown, it ends like a minute and a half early, which is good. Good evening, everybody. If you are live tonight, welcome. Much love as always. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of tired, but excited. What an awesome interaction between John Cena and Roman Reigns. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But in about 1 minute, the debut, the first ever AEW Rampage 1 hour show tonight from 10 to 11 Eastern. For the first hour of this show, we will do a live watch along. Got beverages ready to go. Zevia ginger ale. So I see the closing credits for, I think, Creed. So let's start this off the right way.
So long, man. Have a good rest.
Fuck you! Hey! Help me! Taking maybe one step more. I really lost my little friend.
Friday night. That means it's time for the Don Tony Show.
You've waited all week, and now it's finally here. Get Don Tony's perspective on current affairs in the world of pro wrestling and beyond.
And now, your host, the man, the legend, Don Tony.
We got the first ever Rampage. SmackDown just went off the air, and go figure, the first comment we get, no women's match on SmackDown. God. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is your live watch along of AEW Rampage. We have the commentators on the screen, Mark Henry, Taz, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho. No coincidence, the women closing out SmackDown, the women closing out AEW tonight. I tell you, I'm looking forward to tonight's Rampage. It's only gonna be 1 hour, but it's a fun show. They obviously stacked it, and Tony Khan teasing a little bit more than CM Punk may actually debut next Friday. Yes, we will do a live watch along next Friday again. And please, if you are new to this channel, I've only done maybe 4 watch alongs in my lifetime. They're not going to be as pristine and great as Wrestling Days and others, but we will have fun nonetheless. Oh, and yes, I almost forgot. We got to put everybody's chat on the screen so you could chat in real time. There we go. A little bit cleaner tonight. Yesterday we were a little discombobulated. Christian Cage, they are announcing him. He is coming down the rampway right now. A lot of people think Christian Cage has a shot winning this title tonight. I think that's nuts. Impact Wrestling has, to me, done a piss poor job with this AEW influence invasion. Hasn't helped it. You could look at it one way and say it hasn't helped the ratings for them at all. But then you could look at the other side and say, what would their ratings be like right now if they never had the AEW interaction? I got news for you. I think the ratings would be about the same or maybe even a little bit more. Because a lot of Impact Wrestling fans were not digging a lot of this AEW stuff. Because Kenny Omega is the big star that he is, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be champion. But my God, you had Moose, you screwed it up. You had other opponents take him on. Sammy Callahan screwed it up. And Christian is not even under Impact Wrestling contract. You want Chris Jericho to be the champion? Christian. Not Chris Jericho, Christian. Why would you want that? I wouldn't want that. They are announcing Kenny Omega. Fans are popping nice. History. I mean, I remember the very first Monday Night Raw. What was it? Damian Demento versus The Undertaker is the main event. The very first Nitro. What's he doing here? The very first Sunday Night Heat, the very first SmackDown, the very first TNA episode, the very first AEW Dynamite, the very first NXT. I mean, we could go on and on and on. So Rampage, another hour of, can't say prime time, it's 10 p.m. By the way, how's everybody doing tonight? How you all feeling? We had a wonderful Q&A episode last night. We talked about Keith Lee. We talked about the Garganos. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, during the show, it broke that Dominic DeNucci died at age 89. So obvious thoughts and prayers. Herbert Doherty, by God, T, woo! We're along for the ride. And you are a fellow Navy vet. Thank you for your service. I'm not fellow Navy. I was in boot camp, and that was the extent of it. But thank you for your service. So much love, my friend. Much love. We got Christian and Kenny Omega in the ring right now. Now, remember, Rampage is 1 hour tonight. As soon as Rampage is over, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts of SmackDown tonight, which I thought was an excellent show. Not too much in the wrestling department, but right now that live SmackDown audience is being treated to a dark match. And it's probably, a similar match that they've been doing, John Cena teaming up. Maybe he'll team up with Kevin Owens. Well, actually, no, Kevin Owens had a pretty long match with Baron Corbin. I don't know if they'll do Cena and the Mysterios again, but maybe Big E. Maybe Big E. Stare down right now between Christian and Kenny Omega. Crowd is loud, man. Crowd is loving it. So Tony Khan, right now they're just scoping each other out in the ring. Slow. Little Gaga. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the four-man commentary team, but I think it's going to be just a great show tonight. Now, I printed out my notes today to make it a little easier, and Tony Khan was on Busted Open Radio, and Tony Khan made a comment that is getting a lot of attention, so I'm just going to read it to you. Tony Khan talks about tonight's debut of Rampage. And then he says, tonight, furthermore, we will hear a little bit more about what's coming on Rampage. It's going to be a huge card, and tonight we'll establish more of what's coming on the premiere of Rampage. Of course, he thinks everyone knows what to expect on the second episode of Rampage, which is titled The First Dance. And I expect the anticipation will continue to build. Kind of feeding into the idea that CM Punk will make his debut at Rampage next Friday. I don't think it's in a wrestling capacity in any way. I still hope wow, that crowd is so loud tonight. My God, Taz is commenting about it. All the commentators. This is not piped in. That crowd is loving it, man. This is pretty cool. Now, for those on, Darren, listen, I'm going to do this live on the show. First of all, that guy Pac-Man we were talking about yesterday, he stepped up and apologized. So I'm always, willing to give someone a second chance. Third chance, not too often. But Darren, I got a lot of complaints about you yesterday. All right, and I know, you're a pretty cool dude and everything, but I see your style on the Discord. You want to do that on Discord, go right ahead. But on this chat room, there is a fun vibe. Everybody has a great time. And I read some of the things that you said yesterday. And honestly, if I knew that was going down, I would have deleted it. So, I'm just saying. We have a good time. You don't have to, say some of the things you said yesterday to have a good time. Or maybe it was when. No, what you talking about, Darren? Seriously. Ain't no two Darrens. This isn't like two Earl Hebners. All right. Right now, it's just still Gaga. Just feeling each other out. Kenny Omega's currently outside the ring, talking to Don Callis. Christian starts chasing after him. Kenny Omega gets back into the ring first. Christian follows, and Kenny Omega with the upper hand, getting a couple of shots in Christian. Look, this is going to be more of a Gaga match, but, you don't find it strange that Christian, they announced 2 championship matches, one tonight and one at All Out. Something about that just doesn't jive with me. Why? I mean, I don't have any problem with Christian getting a title shot. I have no problem with that at all. And obviously the fans live tonight have no problem with that as well. But 2, you announced 2. I don't know. Michael Gonzalez, do I think Rampage will move to 2 hours eventually, or will it always be 1 hour? I really think it comes down to ratings and reception. Look, you got to see, this is the thing a lot of people need to understand. It's brand new. So obviously you're going to spice it up, like an opening restaurant. The first day, everybody is dressed extra nice. Everybody is extra special. The dinner might have some extra little things on it. So, but you got to remember, I talked about it in February of 2020, that NXT, we're going to a commercial break, by the way, everyone. So far, it's just pretty much been a very slow match. I don't have any problem with that, but you're not missing anything. But what I was going to say, Neil Ray, now I know the Streamlabs alert is a little bit off. Actually, no, I could fix that. Stupid me. I worked today. There we go. See? Now it's centered. I worked today to make sure everything would work flawlessly because we don't have any time to stop. Rampage is on. We're already 10 minutes into it. Just think about it. 1/6 of the show is already done. Rampage, that is. But I said this in February in 2020, and this is very important. We're at a commercial break right now. Last year, I said NXT is getting sidetracked with AEW being on Wednesday night. NXT needs to be a developmental company. They need to focus on the stars of tomorrow. That's what made Bayley and Sasha Banks take over Brooklyn so special. That's what made Asuka's undefeated run so special. You have to focus developing stars, and it's unfair. It's unfair. Like Jake Atlas just celebrated his 5-year anniversary in wrestling. Great. You think Jake Atlas, when he first went to NXT, expected to be thrown right in all this attention, AEW versus NXT? You don't want that kind of pressure on your young stars of tomorrow. Older stars, yeah, but the young stars, no pressure. You got to avoid that pressure. And WWE was making a big mistake, and we picked up on that a year and a half ago. AEW cannot make the same mistake. Now, yes, there's no NXT on Friday nights. Yes, SmackDown is before, but the point is, remember why Rampage was created. Feature a little bit more of the women, to feature some stars, but more as, a complement of Dynamite. It's not supposed to be another Dynamite. And because we're excited, it's the first Rampage. Next week, CM Punk might make an appearance. So right now, yeah, we're excited. It's like going on a first date and a second date. But after that, you got to focus on why Rampage was created. Look at AEW Dark and AEW Elevation. Does it feel like 2 different shows? Really? Seriously. Other than 2 names, the names being different and the commentary being a little, does it feel different? No, it just feels like 2 YouTube shows. When you see certain women or men on Dark, and then you see the same people on Elevation, and then you see them on Dark again, and then you see them on Elevation, it doesn't feel, if you want to compare it to baseball, it doesn't feel like a single A club, which would be Dark, double A or a triple A club, which would be, double A would be Elevation, triple A would be Rampage. Some people who are ready but can't break it to Dynamite yet, and Dynamite is Major League. That's how you look at it. Dark, single A, Elevation, double A, Rampage, triple A, Dynamite, Major League. We are back from commercial. They're exchanging punches. You know, somebody brought up on the calls yesterday, they can't recognize this Kenny Omega that we've seen for the last 8-9 months. This is not the Kenny Omega that has had 5-star matches in Japan. And I said, Kenny Omega, especially because he's a heel right now, he's being a sports entertainer. And he's wrestling like a sports entertainer. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Jericho is very, very energized tonight. I think they all are. Jericho's arguing with Excalibur. My throat is a little scratchy. I was sick a week ago. I couldn't do the show last Friday. I rested my voice for 2 days over the weekend last week. I feel a lot better. But we did a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, today. 5 days in a row. So I have this ginger ale Zevia, and just in case I'm still thirsty, I have a little bit of the bubbly limes. Not open yet. Yeah, I know. Sports entertainment is okay when it's in AEW, but in WWE, it's bad. I don't care about sports entertainment. You know, I just want to be entertained. I want to be entertained, plain and simple. You know, if someone has a 5-star match and it fits that person and the opponent, fine. If I see a 3-star match, but I am extremely entertained, that's fine with me as well. Christian is on the middle rope, and he's doing the 10 punches to Kenny Omega. So far, this has been, like I said, a gaga match. Crowd is so into it, though, man. If you're checking out my watch-along, not live, what might be pretty cool, and I know Conrad has told people to do this, and I did it once, and it was pretty cool. Put AEW, if you have like a little tablet or a phone or something, put AEW, the replay of Rampage, alongside this watch-along, and just turn the volume down. And then just see how we talk and everybody in the chat room. Don Callis with the pink scarf tonight. What do you think about John Cena tonight? About Roman Reigns? He's got giant bars of soap for teeth. Did you hear Cena sneak in accidentally the D word? He actually said dick tonight. We'll talk about that later. Right now, Kenny Omega, nice moonsault for a 2.5. This match, if you want to compare it to like Kenny Omega matches in Japan, this wouldn't even be a 3-star match so far. It's been that slow. But the crowd is into it. And if a crowd is into it, chances are the fans at home are also into it. There's no reason to kill yourself in that ring. Christian is now on his feet. Christian is trying to get Kenny Omega to turn around. He's in the corner. He's hyping himself up. He goes for, I don't know what, but Kenny Omega greets him with a knee to the head. Kenny Omega. Powerbomb. Up. V-trigger. V-trigger. Ooh, 2 and 99 and 100ths. Ooh. That was close, man. Mark Henry, that was a heel factor like Wolverine. You can see Mark Henry's got to get used to the commentary a little bit. I like Mark Henry. Some of what he's been doing is great. I don't have any problems with Mark Henry. Shout out to everybody again who is live tonight. Much love. Much love. Christian diving off the top rope. Wait, what the hell was that? Oh, very nice. Kenny Omega went for the V-trigger again. Christian ducked. And then Christian with the spear. 2.5. 2.5. Philip Maffey. 3, 2, 1. It's coming. It's coming. Since we're talking about AEW. Hang on, it's coming. For those on video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Since we're talking about AEW, do we think WWE could sign Bray Wyatt for less money? I'm just joking with you, Phil. I think by WrestleMania of next year, Bray Wyatt will be back in the WWE. I really do. They don't need to sign him for less money. Like I said, we don't know the whole story. I think a lot of what happened is Bray Wyatt, having a family now, very, very down about Brody Lee. Some of the storylines have been kind of crappy. So, he takes some time off. He's got some cash, clear his head. Maybe he works a couple of indie dates, just to keep himself busy and stay in ring shape. And I think he goes back to WWE. It's not a money thing. He was one of the biggest merchandise sellers there. Christian going to the top rope. Frog splash. Another 2 and 99 and 100s. Crowd is like 1, 2. Ow. Jericho says that Don Callis is having an aneurysm at ringside. This is awesome, Chance. And you see, the match has not been, it is told a story. You don't have to have a 5-star match to tell a story. Don Callis distracting the referee. Kenny Omega with a cheap shot. Oh! Almost dropped my keyboard. Can't have that. We have big problems then. All right. Kenny Omega looking for help. I think the Young Bucks just threw a chair to him. Now, the referee is still turned. Kenny Omega has Christian up, Chris, with a chair in the ring. Christian go for the unprettier. Beautiful. On the chair. Christian throws the chair outside the ring. He got it. Why would Impact Wrestling put the belt on Christian? Holy shit. Luchasaurus, first to enter the ring. Jungle Boy is in there. Crowd is going nuts. Well, you want to know something? And I'm not changing what I said earlier. You look at Impact Wrestling as a whole, and I'm being sincere right now. I absolutely love that Christian is back. We've talked about it countless times. It is awesome. And it's awesome to see Christian go back to the mountaintop. But you got to look at Impact Wrestling and say to yourself, for the last 8 months, your heavyweight champions are not under contract. What message does that send to your roster? They had so many opportunities to use Kenny Omega to maybe elevate Moose, elevate others, elevate Sammy Callahan. And Christian, did Christian have 2 belts in his hand? Oh, did he take Kenny Omega's? Oh, he took Kenny Omega's AEW championship. Scott D'Amore hugging Christian. Look, I know Christian was heavyweight champion before. It's not about Christian. It's about, like I said, Impact Wrestling. I'm just giving my opinion. Everybody who is on that roster, usually your goal is to become heavyweight champion on the men's side and the women's side. And for 8 months, you're basically saying that no one in your own company is worthy enough or strong enough to be heavyweight champion. Or 6 months, whatever it is. I think that sends a bad message. You know what I think this means? I think Christian, there's 2 ways you could look at this. Christian will drop the title awfully quickly. I think it drops the title awfully fast. Or Scott D'Amore feels that having someone hold that Impact Wrestling belt in the air on Dynamite is a better advertisement than just using homegrown. Because if he puts the belt on Sammy Callahan or Moose or someone else, it's no longer shown on Dynamite or Elevation or Rampage. So is Scott D'Amore basically buying advertising time from AEW and basically putting his belt on AEW talent? That's what it kind of feels like. But look, congratulations to Christian. Christian definitely shows that he's back, and, you know, at the same time, you know, it's messed up that WWE felt that Christian was not strong enough to keep under a deal. You know, I understand their agenda is to push, you know, other talents, but, you know, you see this match tonight, the crowd loved it. And again, like I said before, if the crowd live loved it, people at home loved it. And it wasn't a 5-star match. It wasn't a 4-star match. It just told a great story. King of Fools, King. Just subscribe. Welcome aboard, my brother. Yeah, if anyone else out there, if you are not subscribed yet, subscribe. You'll get, 4 or 5 shows a week? Every show is a little bit different. Monday is focused mostly on Raw. Wednesday is focused mostly on NXT and Dynamite. Thursdays is Q&A, down the earth, off the cuff, whatever you feel like talking about. And Fridays was mostly SmackDown. Now it's SmackDown, Rampage. Later on, I'm going to do predictions for New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, which takes place this weekend. Pretty solid card. So we will definitely do that. September game. Subscribe. Welcome aboard, brother. Welcome aboard. Absolutely. No contest tonight, Darren. I'm not trying to be cheap. It's just, I don't have any format, you know. But by the way, Kevin Milwaukee, this is going out on Monday. I got it back in the box. We are back. Why did the referee hold both belts up in the air at the beginning of the match? I mean, I understand that Kenny Omega has more than one belt, but why would the referee hold both? Christian Cage interview backstage. Wait, he's got 2 belts in his hand. Oh, the TNA title and the Impact Wrestling title. Because of the belt collector, they kept both belts around, so Christian is holding 2 belts. Got it. Mark Henry is interviewing Christian. He said a little bit of the bubbly is damn cold right now. He's got champagne in his hand. He said to Mark Henry, damn, I love you. I'm so glad you're here, by the way. He's putting over Kenny Omega right now. He is, as advertised. Christian is saying that if beating Kenny Omega for the Impact Championship was hard, it's going to be almost impossible to beat him for the AEW title. So he just hyped up All Out. So Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus pouring a little champagne on Christian's head. Mark Henry's like, I'm so happy for you, man. Andrew Baker. Hopefully I said it right, Baker. All right, Fuego del Sol. You could go pee now, everybody. Go pee, get a beverage. I have nothing against Fuego del Sol. You know what AEW screwed up with? If he wins against Miro, he gets a contract. You could have Miro win by DQ. But then they had to advertise that if he beats Miro also, he's the TNT champion. I don't really want to see Fuego del Sol as a TNT champion right now. Miro is knocking it out of the park. Not needed. Not needed. So to me, one stipulation too many. Could have said title not on the line. Read 90, how do I feel about AEW having majority of WWE? I don't even know what that means. I honestly don't know what that means. Having majority of what? By the way, tonight we had a Dean Ambrose. Liam Malka, welcome to the family, my friend. Just subscribed. We had a couple of Dean Ambrose references on SmackDown tonight. John Cena actually said Dean Ambrose's name. Can't do that. And then we saw a little video package later on involving Edge and Seth Rollins, and we saw the Shield a couple of times. But they made sure to give us like very early baby-looking Dean Ambrose. You know, not towards the tail end of his WWE career. So they don't even look alike anymore. Miro, they're announcing Miro right now, and he is just pacing, pissed off. But honestly, Reed, you don't have to super chat. I'm looking at the chat room. I don't know what you mean by that as far as majority of WWE. I don't know what that means. WWE is $1 billion company, and AEW is trying to make some profits here. I mean, I don't think people understand how much money was lost because they couldn't tour. They're not going to get bankruptcy or anything like that. They got plenty of cash on hand. But, you know, they got to build from there. That's why CM Punk, for this pay-per-view, they have to pretty much guarantee that he's going to be on it. Imagine the extra buy rate. Even if you get, I don't know, 50,000 more pay-per-view buys because of CM Punk. Think about how much money that is. Yeah, we're already halfway through Rampage. It does feel like it's too short. But again, it cannot be a shorter version of Dynamite. Okay, Fuego del Sol, they just hit the bell. They just hit the bell. And he hit kind of a sloppy-looking DDT. And Miro is outside the ring. Fuego holding the TNT Championship. What? Yeah, Miro's got a... Wait, maybe Miro could have a count out. Is there going to be a count out? No. Yeah, Miro could hold on to the championship and Fuego could get the title. I mean, get the contract. Count out. That's not bad. Fruit roll up by Fuego for a 2. Miro is looking a little bit shocked and pissed off. Crowd is into this. I don't know, Fuego always reminds me of a young 1-2-3 kid, lightning kid. He dived off the top rope. Miro caught him. Miro, yeah, it looks like a Samoan drop. Yeah, Samoan drop. Bulgarian drop. Chris Jericho just corrected us. Miro's pissed, man. That's it. He's stomping his feet. 2 times. 3rd time's a charm. That's it. Game over. That's it. Kick to the head. Fuego is now on his tummy. And Fuego will be... Bye-bye. I couldn't think of anything that rhymes with Fuego other than Winnebago. Doesn't make sense. That's it. Oh! That's it. He tapped out literally in 2 seconds. Yeah, he wanted that contract that bad. I'll die for AEW. Miro puts the game over, literally. Bye-bye, Fuego. You're not even on Dark Elevation. Will not be on NXT. Pick me up before you Fuego. Miro, oh, that's a pretty... Miro held up a piece of paper. It had the AEW logo on it in like one sentence, and he tore it up. Is that what AEW contracts look like? Can I have one? Can I have one, please? What did it even say? They're at commercial. It's going by pretty fast. We're at 10:34. We only have 25 minutes left. Okay. Yep, Kite Lime. Yes, I remember that. Every time I get the call, no one reacts to me at all. I'm a little concerned about Cedric. I talked about it the other day, you know. By the way, SmackDown Dark match tonight, Aaliyah and Xia Li teamed up to beat Casey Catanzaro and Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was playing the babyface. Oh, Roger Rubio, much love, my brother. I will definitely have a cup of coffee on you tomorrow morning, without a doubt. I will be picking up the soon-to-be missus tomorrow morning. We're probably going to hit some breakfast at the diner and do a little grocery shopping and then chill for the weekend. Darren, we'll talk SmackDown in 25 minutes. 25 minutes. But Xia Li teamed up with Aaliyah tonight. Aaliyah playing the heel. You know, the funny thing is, God bless those young fans out there that aren't used to the dark matches showcasing OVW stars in Florida Championship Wrestling. They're not used to that. So when they see NXT stars backstage at Raw or SmackDown, it's huge fucking news. No, it's not. They're getting an opportunity to perform in front of 10,000 people. They're getting some extra work in. Ridge Holland was backstage tonight at SmackDown, and they chose not to put him in a match. It's extra work. It's extra work. It's extra work. That's it. People are like, oh, WWE wants to look and see about Xia Li. Oh, they want to look at this part. Yeah, just like Bronson Reed, right? They don't have a clue, everybody. Do you see what happened? Yesterday, we talked about Keith Lee revealing the COVID and the heart condition that, you know, I indirectly was telling you all for the last 6 months. And thank God he's okay right now. But did you see the damage control of what happened today? All of those websites that lied to you for the last 6 months. The big whammy in the end of February, the real reason in capital letters why Keith Lee was pulled from Elimination Chamber. They had to capitalize it in all real reason, capital letters. They lied to you. They didn't know a damn thing about it. All of those websites that lied to you for the last 6, 7 months, you know what they're doing today? That Triple H is the one to blame for NXT losing the Wednesday Night War. It was never a fucking war. The fans wanted it to be a war. Yes, NXT got sidetracked, but now that's the new narrative because they know Triple H is not going to go on the net and say, that's not true. It was never a war. Vince is not going to go on the internet and tell these ringsidegoofs.com that they're lying. Fuego is on his feet. He looks like he's going to cry. I'm telling you, he reminds me of the Lightning Kid. He's got the same physique. Who's coming out? Sammy Guevara is coming out. Oh, no, Sammy, no. Don't feel bad for this guy. Tony Khan is out there. Tony Khan hugging Sammy Guevara. Another hug. Pointed, oh, Fuego's going to get the contract. Oh. Sometimes there's victory in defeat. Oh, my God. Oh, these people love you. Sure we do. I have nothing against Fuego, everyone. But come on, man. Seriously? So they're going to give Fuego a contract after all. Was this the major announcement? No, that's next week. Oh, he's Sammy's best friend. He's crying. Yeah, let's see a month from now what Fuego, what his record is. They're hyping up Wednesday, Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, Sean Spears versus Sammy Guevara. A major announcement. Could the major announcement be like, no, we changed our mind. Fuego, the fuck out of here. Go to GCW. MJF versus Jericho, Wednesday. No Judas entrance, no Judas effect, but we told you already. Everybody figured that out. The crowd is going to serenade Jericho anyway. Darby Allin and Sting versus 2.0 Texas Tornado, Wednesday. All right. 10:40 p.m., everybody. Rampage. Oh, Sting and Darby Allin in the rafters. Sting loves it in the rafters. Yeah, I love it in the rafters. I love it in the backseat of my car. I love it in the bathroom. I love it in the pool. He loves it in the rafters. Oh, the replaying where Darby Allin challenged the best in the world. Here it comes. United Center. The largest crowd in AEW history. The most anticipated television event of the year. There's only one place, the First Dance, United Center, next Friday, 10 p.m. Biggest crowd in AEW history, next Friday. I'm telling you, if AEW had a set of balls, have Kenny Omega come out to the CM Punk's music, Cult of Personality. I'm the best in the world, everybody. I'm the best in the world. All right. Mark Henry, they're doing a triple screen right now. Britt Baker is on one side, Red Velvet on the other, Mark Henry in the middle. Red Velvet is explaining the history, why she's pissed off at Britt Baker. And Red Velvet says she's going to ruin Britt Baker's night again. Oh, Mark Henry. She ruined the moment. Yeah. The nicer Mark Henry gets, the angrier Britt Baker should get. That'll get a pop from the crowd. This is my night. This is my main event. When she walks out tonight with a broken freaking wrist, she will be still AEW Women's Champion. Mark Henry said, I think there's enough talk. It's time. We're going to go to commercial, and then we have the main event. So we only have about 15 minutes left in Rampage. Very, very fast hour, man. By the way, I want to thank you all for hanging out for a little bit tonight. You know, like I said, after Rampage is over, I will give you New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence predictions. It's a decent card. If you haven't paid attention to it, when I show you the card, it actually may be one you want to check out this weekend. For real, I'm not kidding. We'll talk about SmackDown a little bit. I mean, SmackDown tonight was designed basically for John Cena versus Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks versus Bianca. You know, you had some filler with the Mysterios and a few other things, but that was the focus of SmackDown tonight. And if you remember, about a month ago when we started talking about Cena and Reigns, that it was finally going to start, the story was going to be put together. The one thing that we were concerned about is how would Roman Reigns and John Cena in a promo exchange, and if you remember, I brought up those 2 Raws where Cena went at it with Rock. Remember when Rock had the cheat notes written on his arm or in the inside of his arm? John Cena rattled The Rock, which is something very few people ever do. And we were concerned. I mean, Roman Reigns, basically, methodical in the way he talks now. John, it's the same thing. I thought you were going to come out and give some, but when John Cena starts dishing out some of those attacks, Roman Reigns needed to hold his own. And tonight, I thought they held their own. I mean, just think about this. John Cena and Roman Reigns' segment went, I think, 26 or 27 minutes. It was almost 1/4 of the show. I don't know if we're going to need to go to midnight tonight, everybody. I mean, as soon as Rampage is over, we'll discuss SmackDown. We'll do the predictions for New Japan and call it. And then I will get to relax this weekend. So we're still a commercial. We're about to come off from commercial. Since we're commercial, if you don't mind, I'm going to sneak it in. I'd appreciate it. I know it's a little like off center. That's because I got the different screen tonight. But like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Is this one off centered? Some quick shout outs. Herbert Doherty. Thank you again for your service, my friend. Much love. Why do I see Twitter logos? You notice that? I know why that is. I'll tell you why in a minute. Neil Ray, shout out to you, my friend. Phil and Maffey, talked about earlier. Reet 90. Yeah, you get double shout outs now. If people notice, you get double shout outs. But the reason why I think you see the Twitter logo is because I have another alert thing that could pop up. It's a little off-centered right now, but if you are on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and you post comments, I could actually put them on the screen now. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a while because I don't want anybody to feel left out. But if you're on any of the other platforms and not YouTube right now, go on YouTube because you could chat with everybody. I have the chat on the screen, obviously. All right, your main event. Red Velvet is on the rampway. She's got mostly red, obviously, and blue. I like Red Velvet. She's definitely done pretty damn good. Her record is 15-2. And obviously most of that is from Dark and Elevation. I'm assuming that the live crowd is going to get additional matches after Rampage goes off the air. It almost feels like they have to. There's no way, Okay, here's Britt Baker. You got the towels waving. Britt Baker wearing the Pittsburgh colors. It looks mostly white, though. AEW is hyping up Britt Baker as like their mega star. I mean, she has improved significantly. Oh, Rebel. You got to split them two up. Stop it. Seriously. I have nothing against Rebel, but honestly, you don't need Rebel with Britt Baker anymore. Very loud DMD chants. Oh, by the way, is Jay Carlos here tonight? Jay Carlos, if you are here tonight, or even if you're not, I want you to email me, DonTony@DonTony.com. I got picked up one of these for you also, my brother. Bell just rung. Crowd is into it. Britt Baker, hometown. Loud DMD chants. I mean, it does make sense to have their main event Rampage. Now, I wrote this on social media earlier today. You know, wouldn't it be something if they went off the air today? You know, too bad Ruby Soho has a 90-day no-compete. I wish it would have been 30-day no-compete, because how great would it be after Britt Baker defeats Red Velvet tonight, somebody show up and attack Britt Baker to set up the next feud? Now, that is why I'm wearing my Thunder Rosa, one of my Thunder Rosa shirts tonight, because I don't think Ruby only had a 30-day no-compete. But me personally, I think you have to go off the air on Rampage with somebody showing up and attacking Britt Baker. Right now, a lot of chain wrestling. Oh, Britt Baker with pie face to Red Velvet. Red Velvet returns the favor. Maybe Rebel turns on Britt Baker tonight. Fruit roll up by Red Velvet for a 2. No, Jay calls CM Punk. If it happens, it'll be next week. By the way, I wish SmackDown would have done my idea earlier with the contract signing. I'll tell you right after Rampage. We only have 10 minutes left in Rampage, so let's focus on Rampage the remaining 10 minutes. I tell you, what a fun hour. And I tell you, I think the rating is going to be better than people think. You know, I personally think the rating will be somewhere around 800,000 viewers, 750. Between 7 and 8, I think. It's 1 hour. You know, it's a 1 hour show. It's not like you're invested for 2 hours and you got to wait 2 hours to get the main event. You know, it was a 1 hour show and it flew by. So I think set between 7 and 800,000 for a debut. I think that is very realistic. Still, you know, a lot of, you know, Gaga, Britt Baker, knee to the midsection to Red Velvet, throws Red Velvet against the ropes, misses the clothesline, Red Velvet like this, dumb. But Red Velvet with a nice drop kick. Crowd booing. Red Velvet does a flip for a 2. Are we going to go to commercial? Yeah. I had a feeling. The way they just like slowed it down, it felt like they were going to commercial. Yes, we are going to commercial. Not bad for a 1 hour show. Do I think it could go to 2 hours? Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely could see it. This is the thing. Why would you put that much production for a 1 hour show? Think about that. I mean, I don't think people look, you sell tickets, that's great and everything, but I don't think people understand the amount of money that's involved to have a live show on cable TV. Why would you do all that for 1 hour? You almost feel like eventually Rampage has to be pre-recorded. It has to. If they look, again, because it's their debut, because next week the size of the audience, CM Punk is, you know, almost obvious, it feels at this point. You got to remember what I said earlier. All right, it's brand new. You want to just start out with a bomb, with a blast, but it's got to go back to why this show was created. It can't feel like Dynamite. You have to showcase the stars that this show was meant for. I think that's logical. You know, I don't want to repeat what I said earlier. I'm sure most of you heard what I said earlier. But you just don't want it to feel like it's just another version of Dynamite, like an extra hour. Oh, boy. Because then you say to yourself, wait a minute. Everybody complains about Raw being 3 hours. If it's just an extra hour of Dynamite, that gives Dynamite 3 hours. 2 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday. It's got to showcase the younger stars and more of the women's wrestling, like they said they wanted it to be. So, you break in, get your foot in the door, get on the map, couple of shows to kick it off, then you gotta, and look, you can't do that too long because then people expect huge matches. And you know what's gonna happen. Tonight you had Kenny Omega versus Christian, huge match. You had, all right, Miro versus Fuego, whatever. You have this main event here, big match. You do that too many weeks in a row, and then you announce, we're going to have, Fuego versus, Peter Avalon. And then the rating drops 300,000 viewers. Then you're going to get people online. They're going to be like, oh, my God, the viewers, oh, my God, big problems. The network is not happy. You got to create the identity for Rampage. Okay, we are back from commercial. I think Britt Baker does legitimately have a hairline fracture in her wrist. Did you see her throw out the first pitch yesterday in Pittsburgh? Very, very cool. If you didn't see it yet, it's online. She was at the home park of the Pirates, and she threw the first pitch to Tony Schiavone, which was nice. So if you haven't seen it yet, maybe you want to go check it out. This match has been mostly gaga. Yeah, they're talking about Chris Statlander now. Rebels trying to get the crowd into it. I think Rebels should turn on Britt Baker tonight. Seriously, I don't think Rebels should be with her anymore. I know I said that earlier, but I'm sticking to that. Britt Baker now getting the upper hand, teasing the lockjaw. Well, we're at 10:56, yeah. Red Velvet turned it into a fruit roll-up for a 2. Now Red Velvet is trying to do an armbar because Britt Baker has the hairline fracture in the wrist. We're at 10:56. We got to start wrapping it up. Bring it home. Rampage, she's pulling the brace off of Britt Baker's arm. Rebel is now on the rope. The referee is telling Rebel, Red Velvet threw the glove in on Rebel's face. Now we got another fruit roll-up. Fruit roll-up by Britt Baker for a 2. Now Rebel is on the top apron with the belt in her hand, and she's being ejected. And the crowd doesn't give a shit. See, why would you have Rebel doing heel shit when Britt Baker, it doesn't make sense. Super kick by Red Velvet. Red Velvet climbing to the top rope. Looks like a moonsault coming. Moonsault. Kind of missed. 2 count. We're at 10:57, everybody. The match is about to end. We're going to see a reversal into a lockjaw any second. Red Velvet going for the suplex. Oh, Britt Baker reversed it. Kind of like... Yeah, it looked like Britt Baker almost had like a knee to Red Velvet's neck. By the way, did you see Montez Ford almost kill himself tonight on SmackDown? We'll talk about that in a few moments. Curb stomp by Britt Baker. Jericho, that's a real curb stomp. Only a 2 count. Jericho. That's a real curb stomp. Okay, both wrestlers are on their knees. I know it's just thinking, 30 minds. Red Velvet is trying to go for the lockjaw. Britt Baker just bite her fingers. Okay, Britt Baker is trying to go for the ropes. This is AEW, Britt Baker. The ropes don't mean shit. Oh, wait. Now there's the reversal. Here comes the lockjaw. Here's the reversal I told you about. Here's the reversal. That's it. Going for the lockjaw. Oh, Red Velvet is bashing on Britt Baker's arm. We're at 10:58. Is this going to... Yeah, okay, now she's going to go for the lockjaw. You got to do it now. There it is. There's a lockjaw. Bite on a finger. Stupid. Britt Baker won. 10:59. Is somebody going to hit the ring and whack her? I don't mean Godfather whacking. She won. Crowd loves it. Parents ecstatic. Crowd is loving it. Wow, I think they're going off the air like this. No one is going to attack her? Don't you want it to end in like a little suspense? I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope. No split screen. Come on. We need to someone come out, attack her. Carry it into next week. Wait, Britt Baker is following up with another shot? That's a heel move. She hit her with a suplex. Now Britt Baker is going for the curb stomp with the title in the ring. Wait. Who attacked her? Chris Statlander? Chris Statlander just laid out Britt Baker. Crowd doesn't like it. Jamie Hayter. The crowd is like, who are you? Jamie Hayter with Britt Baker. If you remember Jamie Hayter when AEW first started, this is not your original Jamie Hayter. No, it's the same person. But she got very, very toned down. If you remember, I like Jamie Hayter. I like her work. Jamie Hayter back on the roster. That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. But I'm a little confused with the Britt Baker stuff. You know, I mean, I don't know. It just feels a little bit scattered. But how's that for a fast hour, right? Not bad. Hey, first episode of Rampage. After the show is over, in the comments section, let me know what you think. Actually, no, we don't have to wait for that in the chat room. What'd you think? I mean, 1 hour show. What'd you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down, scale of 1 to 10. I liked it. I liked it very much. Very fast hour. Very fast hour. And I hope, you know, this watch along was okay. Like I said, I haven't done many of them. But, you know, I love conversing with you during it. And I think for 1 hour, it's definitely worth it. Like I said, right now, for the remainder of the month of August, I'm going to do a watch along every Friday. That's 3 more. Actually, after tonight, that's 2 more Fridays. The end of August, we will decide if we continue the watch along into September. Because remember, this show on Fridays that I've been doing for the last year and a half, it's moving to Saturdays in September. So I don't mind doing a Friday show also, but if I do Friday, it'll just be a watch along and then that's it. 1 hour show, done, good night. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Very expensive show, very expensive production to do a 1 hour show. I think after 3 weeks, probably, you'll see this change quite a bit. I think you will probably see, it's got to be pre-recorded. It's got to be pre-recorded. Unless they do 1 hour Rampage live and then they use Rampage to record maybe Elevation. That's possible. You know, we'll see. We'll see. But AEW thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for today. I enjoyed it. Commentary was great. You know, Mark Henry, you know, not too much in the commentating department tonight. You know, backstage segments, you know, seem good. He'll work his way in there. And I think that's why you have Jericho. I mean, some people think the 4-man announce team for 1 hour is overkill. But no. Jericho is so good at what he does on the commentary that if there even is a lull, he could just interject himself. And then you got Taz, who is awesome. I've always liked Taz. And Excalibur is pretty good too. So anyway, SmackDown tonight. I tried to take as many notes as I could. John Cena. Oh, and by the way, let me throw this little news out there. I think it's important. I don't think people really thought about this all that much. You remember the summer of Cena? And it was really leading up to pretty much SummerSlam. And a short time after that, they just announced for Madison Square Garden, which is September 10th, I believe, a dark match that everybody gets live. And it's going to be John Cena and the Mysterios versus Roman Reigns and the Usos. And I think that's a pretty big deal because that is September 10th. That's a month from now. So the fact that Cena is still going to be having matches going into mid-September, he might be here a little bit longer than you think. I think a lot of people think that once SummerSlam is over, that's it. He's done. He's out of there. So anyway, SmackDown tonight, John Cena opened the show. And, John Cena talking about how school is pretty much on its way back. So he wanted to give Roman Reigns his report card. And he said that Roman Reigns gets a D. D as in D-head. D as in D-bag. That's exactly how he said it. So obviously you could fill in the other letters that are missing. Then he says D as in a huge disappointment. And he said at SummerSlam, he's going to give Roman Reigns an F. Should have said F-U. If you go back to history. Loud Cena chants. No, let's go Cena. Cena sucks tonight. We didn't get that. Roman Reigns. John Cena says Roman Reigns will beat the hell out of John Cena at SummerSlam. Kept saying it over and over again. Yes, he will beat the hell out of me. But the whole theme of John Cena's promo tonight is that all he's got to do is last for 1, 2, 3. Fans caught on. Cena made that comment 3 or 4 times, and the fans were going along with it. Roman Reigns comes out. We go to a commercial. That walk was awfully slow to the ring. Roman Reigns gets on the mic, and you get a little concerned right away because Roman Reigns, the first thing he says to Cena is, get to the point. Don't waste my time. So now, because remember, up until this point, that was one thing that we were really looking forward to. We want to see them go at it on the microphone. I know that sounds ridiculous because we wrestling fans, we want to see the wrestling, but I think people really wanted to see that interaction and see how deep it goes. So Roman Reigns is like, that's all you got? John Cena says, that's all I need. And Cena says that Roman Reigns thinks that WWE is his company, but Cena pandering to the fans, which he should. WWE's been pushing Roman Reigns for 10 years because Roman Reigns is the best chance that they got, which is true. It's true. And Cena says that WWE asked him to come back so he could serve a big piece of humble pie to Roman Reigns. And after all of that, Roman Reigns is like, I thought you were going to give us some fresh stuff. And then he's like, give me some cutting edge, Cena. Give me some cutting edge stuff. So John Cena is like, if he wins, yes, I'm looking at my notes. I don't want to leave anything out. Cena says if he wins, that he'll be a 17-time heavyweight champion. That is history. Cena later on would say that if Roman Reigns loses, you will be part of a trivia question. Who did John Cena beat to become 17-time heavyweight champion? Then we get Roman Reigns. He talks a lot of respect for Cena. This is something they always do. They always compliment each other before they stick it. Roman Reigns giving compliments to Cena, one of the greatest of all time. Unbelievable how he could juggle Hollywood with wrestling. And then he says, John Cena, you are good enough And I tell you, two lines that Roman Reigns said tonight that I thought was gold. The first one is when Roman Reigns was giving all his praise to John Cena. And if you really think about it, I don't know if you thought about it like this. Roman Reigns said, John Cena, you are good enough to be WWE champion, but you're not good enough to be Universal champion. And that is a shot to Bobby Lashley. Remember, we got Survivor Series later this year, and there's rumors that it might be Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. That remark he made tonight, keep that on pause. Don't be surprised if you have that comment replayed down the line. The second comment, shout out to Lee. What's up, my brother? The second comment that Roman Reigns did tonight, now in case you don't know, WWE edited out his missionary comment from a couple of weeks ago. So Roman Reigns made sure to say missionary again tonight. Yes, WWE is aware of it. The idea is that Roman Reigns is going into business for himself and saying what he wants, even though WWE does not want him to say that. That's the perception they're supposed to give. And a lot of people are buying into it. But Roman Reigns says tonight, 20 years of missionary might have been good for you, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. And right away, the fans, oh, burn. Roman Reigns finishes up by saying, I'm going to smash you. I'm going to pack you up, put you on a private jet, and send you back to Hollywood. So here's where John Cena goes off, and he talks about how Roman Reigns, WWE keeps him so clean and everything that he's never been embarrassed. He says Roman Reigns has giant bars of soap for teeth. And during this, John Cena actually inadvertently said dick, because earlier when he did the report card and was doing the D references, he recapped it with Roman Reigns. He says, yeah, I know the dick jokes and all that. So that guy that snuck out there. But then John Cena, and again, this is my point about being a wrestling fan. John Cena makes a remark to Roman Reigns. You almost ruined Seth Rollins, and you ran Dean Ambrose out of WWE. Now, yes, oh my God, they said Dean Ambrose, oh my God. But now you got thousands of people on social media. No, it wasn't Roman Reigns that ran out Dean Ambrose. It was Vince and creative. The fuck up. It's entertainment on TV. Stop overanalyzing the shit. Just enjoy it. So Cena said that he built Suplex City, and all he's got to do is survive next Saturday for the 1, 2, 3. Then John Cena with a little CM Punk reference. And again, the net going nuts over it. John Cena says, I win that championship. I might jump the guardrail. I might even blow you a kiss. Remember CM Punk versus John Cena? Remember CM Punk took the title and left for 1 week? So that was a CM Punk reference also. But he said, all I got to do is get you for the 1, 2, 3, and you'll be the biggest failure in WWE history. Awesome segment. Went almost a half hour. Took up 1/4 of the show. But phenomenal. Phenomenal. Enjoyed it tremendously. I think some people out there way over analyzing it. It was a good segment. It put a lot of heat on each other. Roman Reigns did a fine job. He didn't get rattled. John Cena was vintage John Cena. Not Thuganomics, but enough. And look, Cena will be 17-time heavyweight champion in the near future. Neil is asking me, do I think Cena will win? No. No, I don't think so. I really don't think he wins. Cena will be 17-time heavyweight champion. Cena to WWE is Babe Ruth of this generation. I'm not saying I agree with it or like it. I'm just saying like it is. You know, Ric Flair is beloved. If you notice on the intro for WWE Raw and SmackDown, when the very beginning, you know, they cut the Fiend out of there, obviously, but you still hear Ric Flair's woo. You know, they didn't burn bridges. But Cena, homegrown, that guy is going to be at the top when everything is said and done. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. So, another surprise tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Apollo Crews to become the Intercontinental Champion. This match, they work well together. I think a lot of people forgot how many matches they had back in February. But during the match, which you didn't have in February, you had Rick Boogs playing the guitar. Aziz gets pissed, and the referee ejects both of them. So we have them one-on-one. Sam says if he beats Bobby Lashley at 17. Did you watch SmackDown? Did you watch SmackDown? Why would you bring up 17 times? Roman Reigns, you'll be the answer to a trivia question. Who did John Cena beat to become 17-time heavyweight champion? I think that's what we need to do. Nothing personal. That's what we need to do. Awesome segment, but getting back to Nakamura, I am shocked that Nakamura got this title. And I'm happy. Because you remember in January, when they started giving him a couple of, oh shit, Royal Rumble's coming up. And then from February, March, April, May, June, and he had all those back and forths with Corbin that everybody was fed up with. And then he's wearing a fucking crown. Now it feels like they're finally giving him something. And guess what? Daniel Bryan is not behind it, as people were saying incorrectly back then. But Nakamura with the Kinshasa onto Apollo Crews. I don't know how long he keeps that belt. But, you know, now they're talking about the return of the King of the Ring. I know we've talked about it before, but now it's getting stronger and stronger that it could happen. Now Saudi Arabia might be involved in that in some capacity. But I did not expect that title change today, and it was very good. They worked well together. The crowd loved it. Boogs comes back out, and he's doing the guitar on the announcer's table, and you know, Pat McAfee just totally like marking out for it. I liked it. We're now about 40 minutes into SmackDown, and we had the Cena Reigns segment, and we had Nakamura winning the IC Championship. Not too bad so far. 1/3 of the show is done. Pretty good. Seth Rollins coming out. I bought the new Seth Rollins shirt, by the way, Forever Rollins. Go to WWE shop. It's on pre-order right now, but I can't wait to wear it and to annoy some people out there. But Seth Rollins comes out. I know some people can't stand Rollins. Listen to that crowd reaction tonight. Him trolling Edge, you know, talking about he should have finished the job in 2014. If he would have done what he should have done in 2014, there'd be no Edge comeback. There would be no movies. That instead of Edge pushing his kids on swings, his kids would be pushing him in a wheelchair. And then Seth Rollins tells the back to air a video montage, a retrospect that he put together for Edge and Seth Rollins. And you have somebody on commentary and they're reviewing both careers. Quite a few pictures of Edge with Christian. Nothing wrong with that. But the whole idea with the video retrospect is Edge had some good times in his career, but not like Seth Rollins. Edge, came back, won 2 Royal Rumbles, but he failed at WrestleMania. They highlight a little bit of Seth Rollins' career, talk about the Shield a little bit. All 3 members of the Shield shown in the ring. But like I said, they use such an early picture of Dean Ambrose. That Dean Ambrose doesn't look anything like Jon Moxley of today. Yes, they're the same person. But there's no reason why you can't name drop people if it coincides with the storyline. Seth Rollins' career is so much involved with the Shield. You're going to do a video package comparing careers. I mean, yes, if you notice carefully today, there was at least 2 shots where they had shown footage of the Shield in the ring, and it was extra zoomed. So you only saw about 1/3 of Dean Ambrose's head. So WWE was a little cute with some of their video tonight. But the crowd chanting, "We want Edge, we want Edge." Edge is not there tonight, everyone. He will be there next week. The day before SummerSlam, he will absolutely be there next week. So Seth Rollins finishes up his promo that it's not 2014 anymore. Times have changed. At SummerSlam, I will not hesitate and I won't hold back. I will stomp your head in the mat, and if it puts you out for good, so be it. The crowd just, I don't want to say nuclear heat for Seth Rollins, but getting a lot of heat from the crowd. Crowd was big time into it. The Mysterios get a rematch against the Usos at SummerSlam. The storyline continues. Dominic, be focused. Dominic, be focused. Dominic, be focused. They have a match tonight with Ziggler and Rude. Basic match. Towards the end, you had the Usos pop up on the screen, and they're going, go, Dom, go. 619, go, Dom, go. 619 to try to distract him. And Ray, I mean, he didn't do this, but Ray, Dominic's looking at the Titantron, and Ray's like, step out of it. Pay attention to the match. Dominic ends up giving a fruit roll-up to Robert Roode. The Mysterios get the win. They face the Usos next week for the tag titles. GMTA Entertainment, what's going on, my friend? The Street Profits defeated the Alpha Academy. And I'm telling you, if you're doing a frog splash, Montez Ford, you just want a little extra elevation, go for it. You want to do some of the things inside the ring and a little extra oomph to make it stand out more, fine. But that dive that he did outside the ring onto Otis tonight, he is very lucky he didn't get seriously injured. Because he is so light on his feet and he has so much lift that he has to understand there is a freaking announcer's table right behind Otis. And the announcer's table is not going to say, oh, excuse me, good, you go. That guy could have went neck first on the edge of that announcer's table, could have landed on his head, totally overshot Otis. Scary. Thank God nothing happened. But, man, not necessary. Not necessary. Yeah. KD is, he really got close of hitting his head. And I'm sure somebody in the back, is gonna, look, they're not gonna rip him, but they're gonna tell him, don't do that. Cut back a little bit. The Street Profits are over. He doesn't need, it's like, what reminds me of? It reminds me of Rob Van Dam. When I used to enjoy watching Rob Van Dam around, 99, 2000, around that time, about 99. And 98, 99, when he was feuding with Bam Bam Bigelow and others, even Sabu, when he feuded with Sabu, he would dive into like the front row or the second row. I mean, he did a somersault one time. But Jeffrey Collins, what's up, my friend? He's excited for SummerSlam. His first live pay-per-view in the crowd. Cena versus Reigns is the match he's looking forward to. Should be. Do not pay attention to the noise online. Oh, WWE, after all of this, you got to rely on Cena. Yeah? So what? So what? What's wrong with that? You know, everybody wants to tell you online who should be booked and who shouldn't be booked. They want to tell you where people should work. They want to tell you how people should do this and who should do this and who should do that. But yet, they can't even get a job doing Uber Eats. Just be a wrestling fan and enjoy it. Cena versus Reigns is not going to stink up the joint. It's going to be a fun match. You know, I don't understand why people do that. So anyway, getting back to the Street Profits, Montez Ford with Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam would do some crazy-ass dives. And you knew that he could go further. Because remember, the Van Terminator. That guy did the Van Terminator way before Shane was doing it. That guy could jump so far. His leap was amazing. But he knew not to overshoot it. You never, ever saw Rob Van Dam when he would dive onto Bam Bam or Sabu or Candide or anyone else. You never saw him overdive and go over them and land in the second row instead of the first row. Rob Van Dam would do the moonsault, the frog splash, and he would get extra high, and then he would always hold his ribs afterwards. Big difference going extra up than extra this. Montez Ford is very lucky he didn't get hurt today. So the Street Profits get the win, and after the match is over, Otis is pissed off. They focus on Otis's face a little bit too long. Makes you think, is there going to be a problem in the Alpha Academy soon? We don't know. We will see. Baron Corbin's last plea, last attempt to ask fans for money. Otherwise, he's going to have to file for bankruptcy. He feels that everybody who is live in the crowd needs to give him $1,000 and it'll save him. Kevin Owens' music hits. Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens is basically telling him this shit's got to stop. He didn't curse, but this has got to stop. The fans, WWE, this to that, get a hold of yourself, straighten yourself out, blah, 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 blah. Baron Corbin first just wants Kevin Owens' spare change. Then Baron Corbin quickly says, I'm not leaving this ring unless you give me $1,000. Kevin Owens stuns him. Kevin Owens says, all right, I'll give you $1,000 if you beat me in a match. But if you lose this match today, no more begging. So Baron Corbin agrees. He gets the stunner. Match didn't start yet. We go to commercial break. We come back. We have the match. Kevin Owens gets the win. So now Baron Corbin can no longer beg for money. Very dejected and interviewed in the back. Now, before I say I could say what happened. He's interviewed in the back. He doesn't know what he's going to do next. And he sees Big E, I think by like a merchandise table or something. And the Money in the Bank briefcase is on the table. So Baron Corbin grabs Big E's briefcase and runs out of the building with it. So Baron Corbin now has the Money in the Bank briefcase. He stole, committed a crime. And, they're like, can he really cash in? Now, what I wanted to see happen tonight on SmackDown was this. And for a brief moment, I said, oh my God, if this really happens. You could see my tweet that I wrote this afternoon. What I wanted to happen is I wanted Sasha Banks and Bianca to have their contract signing. I wanted Zelina Vega and Carmella to come out there and throw one of them out of the ring or incapacitate Bianca Belair. And then Baron Corbin hits the ring like he did with the Finn Balor situation. And Baron Corbin tries to sign the women's contract out of desperation. And then Bianca Belair hits the KOD or just whips him with the hair once. And Baron Corbin just runs to the back. Doesn't sign the contract, obviously. I think the only reason why you couldn't do that is because if you think about it, Sasha Banks is a heel. You would need Bianca to sign it. So if Baron Corbin prevents Sasha, that's a heel and a heel. You see where I'm going with this? It wouldn't make as much sense. Plus, why would Zelina and Carmella throw Sasha out of the ring for Baron Corbin? Baron Corbin is broke right now. He can't offer them nothing. So it wasn't perfect, but I don't work for them. But could you imagine if somebody got thrown outside the ring, or here's the even better one, the contract signing. They're in the ring. Bianca and Sasha looking good, both of them. Sonya Deville moderating it. No Adam Pearce. And Sasha Banks signs it first, teases a little bit. Bianca is about to sign it. Actually, before Sasha even signed it, she says, I need some witnesses before I sign this. Out comes Carmella. Out comes Zelina Vega. So now I'm thinking about what I said earlier. They come out, and they're standing right next to Sasha, and Sasha signs the contract. Bianca signs the contract. Now it's a setup. Carmella and Zelina Vega start beating up on Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair ends up getting the upper hand, tosses Carmella out, tosses Zelina Vega out, and then Sasha Banks starts wailing on Bianca Belair. Puts her in the bank statement. She's wearing knee-high boots. You know, I know a lot of people online, eyes were popping out. Sasha doing that laugh. I can't do it. But then I said, oh my God, can you imagine if Baron Corbin was just lurking around ringside and Bianca Belair is just laid out. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Yes, they both signed the contract already. They both signed the contract. But after Sasha Banks incapacitated Bianca on the table, if Bianca started walking away, could you imagine if Baron Corbin was at ringside and he had the Money in the Bank briefcase? I know it's the men's side, but in his mind, he thinks he could cash it in because he's desperate. He doesn't cash it in, obviously. Bianca starts whipping him or whatever. Big E could have came out and chased him away, and he runs away with the briefcase again. But I could only imagine how crazy that crowd would have went if they thought for a minute that Baron Corbin was somehow going to sign that contract. But Sasha Banks leaves Bianca laying once again, which makes me feel that Bianca Belair will definitely retain that title next week. You know, and Becky Lynch is not coming to SmackDown. I know a lot of people still think that because Seth Rollins is on SmackDown. I think once the draft happens, then you could shift some people around. Personally, I think when the draft happens, I think Sasha should go to Raw and Becky Lynch go to SmackDown. Or if you insist on a babyface, then you could kind of move someone else. If Bianca's not the champion anymore, yes, I know what you're going to say. Well, Bianca was already on Raw. Well, so was Kevin Owens a few times. So was Seth. You know, I mean, they do jump back and forth more than you think. But excellent night for SmackDown. Live fans in attendance didn't get as much wrestling as you normally. That's been a formula with WWE the last couple of weeks, but after the cameras went off the air, they're treated to a Cena match. And, you know, great build for SummerSlam. Telling you, SummerSlam, starting to feel it. It's going to be interesting because it's next Saturday, not Sunday. So, you know, that's going to be a little bit different for some of you out there. But you know what? At least you get, for those that go to school, well, I don't know if you go to school right now in August, but if you go to work, at least you don't stay up until 1 a.m. on late Sunday night because SummerSlam is on a Sunday. Because it's on a Saturday, you could wake up late on Sunday if you're not working Sunday. So, excellent SmackDown, excellent Rampage, very good Dynamite, very good NXT this week. Raw was not that bad either if you tuned into our recap Monday night. Honestly, this was a pretty damn good week for wrestling. Impact, I have not had a chance to watch yet. I will watch it over the weekend. I don't know how I feel about Brian Myers versus Christian for the Impact Championship because that is the match, I believe, what's going to go down now. I'm not doing a watch-along for SummerSlam. Somebody asked me that yesterday. 4 hours would be way, way too much. It'd be way too much. But we'll do a recap right after. So, anyway, I want to, and look, if you did not tune into yesterday's show and you missed my discussion on Keith Lee and Mia Yim, if you go to last night's episode, in fact, what time is it? Hour and 35. When I go like this, the link on the download or the archive, it'll pop up there. But if you go to yesterday's episode, the Q&A, I put a timestamp for the discussion on Keith Lee, and I put a timestamp for the discussion on the Garganos. Because in case you are still not aware of it, Candice LeRae is pregnant. And they are due to have their first child in February 2022. So congrats to the Garganos. Much love. Continued support. The Keith Lee, Mia Yim stuff, I would never beg you, but I assure you, if you did not tune into my rant yesterday, it is a must because it really does expose not only the level of lying that people did online, but Mia Yim posted a tweet today, and she said the next time someone noteworthy ask you for their privacy when they're going through a really tough time, respect their privacy. And a lot of people did not do that. They were very disrespectful. They accused her of giving Keith Lee COVID, which was not true. They made up everything for the last 6-7 months. And it's horrible. And it's absolutely horrible. And I really am pretty proud of what I said yesterday. So, yeah, the Garganos having their first kid. That's pretty cool also. I mean, that's awesome. It's not pretty cool. Before we go, let's talk about this. New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know some of these names, some of you may not recognize, but let's just run down the card in case you want to check it out. Believe me, there's enough names on here that I think you will be very intrigued to tune in. Quick predictions. I think Alex Coughlin will beat Carl Fredericks. That is one of the matches announced. Check this one out. TJP, Clark Connors, and Ren Narita versus Wheeler Yuta. Oh, wait. That Wheeler Yuta. Rocky Romero, and Fred Rosser, the former Darren Young. And Fred Rosser is my guy when I get some nutritional items, believe it or not. Actually, yeah. Some of the way I lost, I give him credit. He actually is my sales representative for some of my ketone stuff. But I think Fred Rosser, Rocky Romero, and Wheeler Yuta get this win. So it's going to be a fun 6-man tag match. But it gets better. It gets better if you're not impressed yet. Tom Lawler, J.R. Kratos, Jarrell Nelson, Royce Isaacs, and Danny Limelight, some familiar names there, versus Leo Rush, Brody King, Chris Dickinson, Fred Yehi, and Yuya Uemura. I think I pronounced all the names right. I'm going with Team Lawler on this one. Here's some pretty interesting matches. Tomohiro Ishii versus Moose. I tell you, man, I don't get it. I still don't get it with Impact Wrestling. Like I said, it almost feels like parading that Impact title on Dynamite is their way of paying for advertising. I just feel, and a lot of fans of Impact, some hardcore fans feel the same way. It just shows no confidence on your own roster, your own contracted wrestlers. I personally would like to see Moose get this win. I mean, this guy, he should be so much higher on the food chain in pro wrestling. And I don't know. I just think he actually could use this win more than Tomohiro Ishii does. Moose is awesome, man. Moose is just flat out awesome. This match is going to be pretty roughneck, just two monsters battling it out. It's going to be a fun match, I'm telling you. I don't know if that match is going to steal the night. I think this one may. As I said yesterday, I think Jay White will retain the never openweight championship against David Finlay. Jay White, a lot of momentum. A lot of fans still have only heard of him and not getting an opportunity to see him all that much. But I think Jay White will win this match and retain his championship. Check this match out. Jon Moxley teaming up with a mystery partner against Gallows and Anderson. I think his tag team partner is Eddie Kingston. I mean, I know what some people are thinking. Some people think Nick Gage. Some people think a wrestler from New Japan. It could be somebody who was released from WWE not too long ago that, we're not thinking of. I personally think it feels like Moxley and Kingston are going to be the ones to dethrone the Young Bucks for the AEW tag titles. And who knows, maybe it happens in New York. I think that could very well happen. I think you have to start really getting that team of Kingston and Moxley back together if they're going to go that route. So I'd like to see Moxley team up with Eddie Kingston. And no matter who teams up with him, unless they team with him and turn on Moxley, I think Moxley's team is going to win. I think the only way Moxley's team loses is if somebody that teams up with him turns on him. Then we got, which I'm assuming is the main event. Maybe it's not, but Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Lance Archer for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. This obviously is the same title that Moxley was holding for quite some time, that Archer beat on a recent episode of Dynamite. This was a match that a lot of people were looking forward to. And look, I have said it for a very long time. Lance Archer is my favorite AEW wrestler. Been saying that for almost a year. And I'm pretty pissed the way he was utilized in the past, especially when Sting first came in. That was just horrible. But that guy, I've always said, if you like Lance Archer and you never saw his work in Japan, go back and watch his work in like 2018, 2019, and see what that guy could do. I think they are going to tear the house down in this match. I think Lance Archer retains. It would be interesting to see if Tanahashi wins it, because then he could bring the belt back to Japan. But this all depends, I think, on how AEW is going to use Lance Archer going forward. I mean, he still works for AEW. I don't know. I'm going with Lance Archer to retain. But it wouldn't surprise me if Tanahashi gets that title. So, and I think that is your card. I think that is your entire card that's been advertised. Does it go back to the first match? Yes, it does. Okay, so that is your card. And that is your episode tonight for the Don Tony Show. We're going to keep it right to the point. SmackDown discussion, Rampage, watch along, New Japan predictions. So I am going to relax my voice for the weekend. Rocky Red is asking me, tomorrow night, Kenny Omega defends the AAA Mega Heavyweight Championship against Andrade at Triplemania 29. Rocky Red thinks that Kenny Omega is going to lose the AAA Championship as well. I'll tell you the truth. I kind of agree with you, and I'll tell you why I agree with you. You think of AAA, Andrade fits more for the Lucha Libre. AAA, Andrade needs a championship title on his shoulder, especially when he's showing up in AEW wearing the fancy suits and everything. So I'm with you. I think Andrade should beat Kenny Omega for that AAA championship. I mean, and we'll know. We'll talk about it on Monday's show. But yeah, I do agree with you. You know, this belt maker storyline is not needed with Kenny Omega. He's going to be Wrestler of the Year for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, even though I know some of you don't think it amounts to much. It's either him or Roman Reigns. That's where it seems like it's going. But especially you got CM Punk coming in. Hangman Page, his wife gives birth. He's going to be coming back. They got to focus Kenny Omega and AEW. And it's not just Kenny Omega, the wrestler. Kenny Omega, as I said yesterday, does so much work behind the scenes for AEW. You know, these Gaga or lighter matches that he's having that are not 5-star, I mean, that must be very important for him too, because there's so much workload that this guy has. So, I'm going to jet out of here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. And on the way out, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share. If you have any friends out there that are not aware of this channel yet, let them know about it. You know, every show, you know, for the most part, has a wrestling theme to it. And right now, as it is, I do shows Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and pay-per-views. And starting September, we'll be doing a Saturday show, and Friday will depend if we continue the watch-alongs for Rampage. But I hope you enjoyed it. So, Javierli, what's going on, my friend? Am I doing any updates? Yes, I have that Q&A that I'm going to be posting over the weekend. I have it done already. It's just the only reason why I didn't post it is because I was changing the memberships around. And when I delete that tier, then some people that didn't downgrade, I know that sounds nuts, everyone. I actually dropped the price because I don't want anyone to have to break the bank if they want to be a channel member. But I'm going to post it over the weekend, my brother. So, yeah, look out for that. I got everybody's Q&A done. There's a couple of additional questions I may actually add to it tomorrow. Some came in after I recorded it. But yes, last week I was just very, very under the weather. So, and I posted the video, so everybody knows I wasn't lying about it. So, but all right, everybody, I'm out of here. And enjoy the weekend, everyone. Much love. Check out the New Japan pay-per-view. I will. Absolutely. And I'm going to pay attention. I don't know if I'm going to see Triplemania, but I am going to pay attention to see if Omega drops it. You think AAA, Andrade feels like a perfect fit. So, all right, everybody. Much love as always. And I will see you all next Monday. Right after Raw, Mission myself will be right here live, 11:05 p.m. Eastern. So take care, everyone. Good night.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. Doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.